Hey everyone, I want to show you something. Look at this. See that? That's my new backdrop. That is a photograph taken by a friend of mine in Matanzas, a photographer, Sergio Martinez. Finally had it enlarged and mounted on my wall. And you're probably wondering right now, Kelly, did you actually make a whole video just to show us the new artwork on your wall? No, but what's in this photograph here is really historically significant. So this gives me the opportunity to tell you a little bit about it. So let's get into it. So I'm going to start by telling you what stood out for me when I first saw this photo, and that is that it's 3 bridges in a row. Now, if you've ever heard me talk about Matanzas, you've probably heard about the many nicknames that it has. One of them is that it's the City of Bridges, or the Venice of Cuba. The reason for that is because the city has 3 main rivers. 2 of them cut through a couple of different neighborhoods, and then the other one's way on the east side. So Rio Yumuri dissects the Versailles neighborhood from Central Matanzas, and then you have the Rio San Juan, which separates Central Matanzas from Pueblo Nuevo, and then you have Rio Canimar, which is way on the east end. So what's in this photograph here, this is the Rio San Juan, and then in the background you have the Bay of Matanzas. I've been told that Matanzas has 18 bridges. I personally have only been able to find 10. No matter how much I think in my head, when I've been exploring the city, I've scoured a map, I can only find 10. If you know where the other 8 are, please let me know. So starting with the bridge in the front, that is Puente Tiri. It's also formally called Calixto Garcia, but I never hear anyone call it that. All the locals call it Tiri, or Puente Tiri. And the other thing is, it is referred to as the Iron Bridge. So if you hear anybody say that, that's the bridge that they're talking about, Puente Tiri. Now, it was built around between 1897 and 1899, I think, and it connects Plaza de la Vigía, which is the founding square of the city. It's where the city really first was established formally, and so it connects that with the Pueblo Nuevo neighborhood. It's been around for over 120 years, but it had something like 8 or 9 or 10 different predecessors, which those bridges just never really lasted with hurricanes and what have you. But what I want to mention about that bridge is, first of all, it's beautiful any time of the day, especially at night when it's all lit up and the lights reflect off of the river. But the other thing I want to mention is, if you're standing on the sidewalk on the bridge right in the middle and you look west, you have the most spectacular view of the sunset over the Rio San Juan in the distance. So it's a little bit noisy when you stand there because the bridge is metal and it has metal grates on it, and when cars pass over it, it actually kind of scares me, but it is a good spot to see the sunset. If you don't want to stand up there, you can go down along Calle Narvaez, and it's beautiful there as well. Now, the bridge in the middle is called Puente Guidatorio. It is a train bridge. It was constructed around 1904, and the interesting thing about that, it's kind of like this engineering wonder. I have heard someone say that it's the first spinning bridge because it actually spins. The first spinning bridge built in Cuba, but I've also heard that it's the first one in Latin America. Not sure if that's true. In any case, it's pretty interesting. The reason that it spun is because this river was used back in the days of the sugar boom and for the sugar industry to allow boats to pass by on either side. And when you're down at the river, you look at the south side of Rio San Juan, you can actually see the remnants of the warehouses there that used to keep the sugar would be brought from the middle of the province and all of the sugar mills to those warehouses, and then the boats would come up and down the river, obviously picking up the sugar and transporting it, going out to the bay and taking it to their destination. So that's why I say it's a historically significant spot, because it contributed greatly to the economic development of the city. Both of these bridges, Puente Tiri and Puente Guidatorio, have been photographed a lot, especially by locals. And the reason for that is they're both really interesting to look at. It doesn't seem to matter what time of day or from what angle. They're just really interesting subjects. And what I didn't notice until this photograph was enlarged and I went to pick it up, the guy at the framing shop or the mounting shop said to me, you can actually see guys fishing off of the support for the bridge here. I had no idea they were there until it was enlarged, and sure enough, if you kind of zoom in, you can see them. And I love that. It's like these little tiny vignettes, these little treasures inside the photos that are like little snapshots of everyday life, because you often do see guys fishing off of there, diving off of there. So these two bridges, yeah, they've been photographed a lot. And then the bridge in the back is the viaduct. So that is the bridge that it's the Via Blanca, it's the highway. If you've ever taken a tour bus from Veradero to Havana and you've passed through Matanzas, you've passed over that bridge, and it's right at the mouth of the San Juan River. That's really it. I just thought it was clever of Sergio to capture all three bridges in one photograph, because it is the city of bridges and it represents that so well. That's everything for now. I hope you enjoyed this little history bite. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and hit the bell so that you know when the next video is up. And I'd love to hear from you, especially if you know where those other 8 bridges are. If you could put that in the comments below, that would be awesome. Thank you. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.